The Great Bengal Famine of 1943 was a devastating event in India's history that resulted in the deaths of an estimated 3 million people. The famine was caused by a combination of factors, including poor government policies, natural disasters, and the impact of World War II. However, one of the most controversial factors was the role played by Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the time. Churchill's policies and decisions are widely believed to have contributed significantly to the severity of the famine. The Bengal region of India was a major food-producing area, and had long been a crucial source of food for the British Indian Army and the civilian population. The region was also an important centre of trade and commerce, and its economy was largely dependent on agriculture. By the 1940s, the Bengal region was facing a number of challenges, including declining agricultural production, rising food prices, and increasing poverty. Winston Churchill, who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain during the time of the Bengal Famine, has been widely criticised for his role in the famine. Churchill was known for his staunch support of the British war effort and his belief that food supplies should be prioritised for the British people and military, rather than for the people of India. He was also known for his opposition to Indian independence, and his belief that India was not capable of self-rule. One of Churchill's most controversial policies was his decision to divert food supplies from India to Britain and the Middle East, where they were needed for the war effort. This decision had a severe impact on the availability of food in India, and contributed to the growing food shortage in the Bengal region. Churchill also refused to allow the shipment of food to India, even when food stocks in India were desperately low and the situation was becoming increasingly dire. Another controversial policy was Churchill's decision to increase the export of rice from India to Britain, even as food supplies in India were rapidly declining. This decision worsened the food shortage in India, as it depleted the country's food stocks even further. Churchill's policies also imposed strict controls on food production and distribution in India, making it difficult for the government to respond effectively to the growing food crisis. In addition to Churchill's policies, the Bengal famine was also caused by a number of natural disasters. The region was hit by a severe drought in 1942, which ruined crops and caused widespread food shortages. The following year, the region was hit by a major cyclone, which devastated the area, and destroyed much of the remaining food stocks. The combination of these natural disasters, combined with Churchill's policies, created the perfect storm that led to the Great Bengal Famine. The Indian government was slow to respond to the growing food crisis, and its efforts to alleviate the famine were hampered by Churchill's policies. The government was unable to import food to help address the food shortage, and its attempts to distribute food were hampered by strict controls imposed by Churchill. Despite these challenges, the Indian government did take some measures to try to alleviate the situation, including setting up relief camps and distributing food to the most vulnerable populations. The Great Bengal Famine had a devastating impact on the people of India, and its legacy has lived on for decades. The famine is widely seen as a failure of government policies, and as a tragic example of the consequences of neglecting the needs of the people in favor of the interests of the state. Churchill's role in the famine is still widely debated, and many believe that his policies contributed significantly to the severity of the crisis. In conclusion, the Great Bengal Famine of 1943 was a devastating event that resulted in the deaths of an estimated 3 million people. The famine was caused by a combination of factors, including poor government policies, natural disasters, and the impact of World War II. However, one of the most controversial factors was the role played by Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of Great Britain at the time. Churchill's policies, which prioritised food supplies for the British people and military over the people of India, and his refusal to allow the shipment of food to India, are widely believed to have contributed significantly to the severity of the famine. The aftermath of the Great Bengal Famine left a lasting impact on India and is still remembered as a tragic example of the consequences of neglecting the needs of the people in favor of the interests of the state. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe for more great videos like this.